And we tried whichever friends we had, British friends, who were interested, so we supplied them with the translations of Tagore's books, writings.
देखो सागर में लहर लहर हो पवन वेग धाए देखो सागर में लहर लहर.
Try to encourage people whichever way we can, but you are right saying that the Bengalis are the main recipients.
I was introduced to Tagore's dance through Nrityakala rhythm.
Those who extinguished your light.
And Nrityakala did a lot of work for spreading out these dances of Tagore and introducing them to people like us who did not know much, who are not Bengalis, who do not know much about Tagore. So they were introduced to this form of dances, Tagore dances, only by Nrityakala rhythm.
আমিও দেবীথিকা রাহার কাজ দেখেছি, উনি করেছেন। তো ওনার অনেকগুলো কাজই আমি এখানে দেখেছি এবং একটা আমি জিনিস দেখেছি সেটা হচ্ছে যে উনি প্রচার করতে চেয়েছিলেন। রবীন্দ্রনাথ যেটা বলেছিলেন যে দেবে আর নেবে, দেওয়া নেওয়ার ব্যাপারটা হলে আপনাকে ভাঙতে হবে, আপনার যে সংকীর্ণতার থেকে বেরোতে হবে।
Yeah, coming from Pakistan, we have never had the chance to actually read him simply because he's a Bengali and I'm not from that background. His work, yeah, it was through this dance drama which I was introduced to him, and it was great. You know, I mean, it was something. Even my daughter, she came to know about one writer from back home.
At the time of the dance, I remember being at medical school, and I remember inviting about 5 to 10 friends from medical school, none of whom were Indian, to come along, and they had a great time. And so they took away the name, they took away an understanding of where I came from, an understanding of some of the culture that has shaped who and what I am today.
Ronnie's brother Rishi, he actually took one of the dances that Bithyanti taught us and took it to his university. There weren't any other Bengali people, and performed it on stage with other people who weren't Bengali or Indian. They all got involved. Everyone loved it. Like he told us that he became really popular because he did this like cultural Indian dance in Nottingham University.
But it's only when one does it in Hindi or English language which you understand, or one understands, then one really appreciates the talent he had.
I'm a Maharashtrian myself, and he has influenced my thinking, and that his poems and his work has been brought to London is something I'm very proud of and very glad.
During my time of actually learning how to dance through Tagore's work, the steps, the dance was relatively foreign to me actually. Many of us learning routines as groups, learning routines as smaller groups and then trying to coordinate that.
Our kind of extracurricular activities would involve, dressing up as a card and doing a dance. It's something very different. And so, that's like my experience of public exposure.
As the music and as we saw the bigger picture, it became more enjoyable. Hopefully we got a little bit better as well.
I started bringing all the youngsters, our friends' children, people who never wanted to be dancer, people who never danced before. I involved them in dance drama like Tashiddesh.
Because I was so young at the time, I didn't really pay too much attention because when you're young, other things like toys and computer games are on your mind, as opposed to literature. Well, that's for some, it is for me. But music has always been in me, so I can actually remember some of his songs, and I did actually enjoy some of them when I was younger.
The first contact I had with Tagore was as a very young child. I used to hear the music in my house all the time. We used to practice in the kitchen when she was cooking. We used to practice at impromptu times. It would always be impromptu because Ma would always teach everyone else first, have all the group in our house dancing in the living room, and then when they would go, we'd learn in the kitchen because it's easier to do footwork in the kitchen, in our very small kitchen in Oakhampton Road, and also in the living room she taught me.
There were different styles or types of dance there, and I do remember even actually trying to incorporate some of our potential freestyle or breakdancing type moves. Got to admit, Michael Jackson was pretty big back then. I think I almost managed to convince a moonwalk would be quite useful in there. The dance, in some ways, was an excuse for me to just go and see my friends, and it allowed us to build relationships through our learning. So it was a great experience for me.
Before Bitika introduced me to Mother Earth, I just knew about Tagore, as he is a name of a poet that one should know, and that was my involvement in it. And that's as far as I knew. And then I got a deeper perspective once doing the dance drama.
I started choosing such dances where you don't have to be a dancer, but you can be a part of it. So my aim was not to make dancers, but involve them in dance.
There was one snag, dance dramas. Of course, we didn't have any male dancers. To find a suitable male dancer wasn't easy. And that's why female dancers would dress up, and then they will play the role of the male dancers. Very first dance drama, which happened in England, and that was Shapmochon. And because there wasn't any female dancer who could do male dancing, we found an English boy who was extremely interested in Indian dancing. John Barman was his name. Well, it was painstaking, I must say. Many, many, many months it took to really train him properly. But I must say, John was absolutely wonderful.
Till 1992 or 3, we didn't have many trained male dancers. And there are some dancers like Monisha Smith, Veena Trivedi, myself, my daughter. We were fortunate enough to have a dance training where we could adapt to male and female form of dancing.
First time, I think it was in 1966-67. The boys were not dancing those days. But for me, it was a challenge. I just thought, okay, nobody has done that, people don't do that, I'll do that. And then suddenly his soft side comes out because he was in love with that woman. She said, "Bono hote keno gelo oshok monjuri."
A long time ago, in 1983, where a local group in Tottenham, there we first, I'm not sure whether any male dancer has been used before that. There we have used my friend Partho, who did the Ruiton, and he danced, trained by Aruti Sengupta.
I'll catch her, wherever she goes, I'll catch her. And I enjoyed that. I said, here is Tagore showing the soft side of a villain.
When I joined in the project Rashid Sindhi, I never danced. It was very interesting, and I enjoyed.
There are two names I must mention, that is Mukid Chaudhary of Bangladesh, a trained dancer, and also Dr. Amit Ranjan Bishwas. They came in 90s. I think Mukid was here before that. And they performed Tagore dance beautifully and also took part in our show. In Chitrangada, that I performed more than 8 times in London, I took the leading role, the female role. Against me, I had Veena Trivedi, who did it for a few times. And before that, when we performed for the Tagoreans in Anson Hall, Tanika Gupta did the role of Arjun, the main.
I think what's that, she encourages people of all age ranges, youngsters, and also the community, which I think is important.
Getting people involved is, in my opinion, is the best way. So it's not just holding performances, because if you get them involved, then they get excited about it, they learn.
And it's not just something that you've seen or witnessed or read, you've actively been involved. And I think that's unique.
It's not about, this is Rabindranath Tagore, I'm going to do a piece. It's not as easy as that. And so in response to that, I feel I'm not ready. It needs maturity.
According to Tagore, education